guys? Welcome to an edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. Streaming Market Marauders is an investment channel, helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in. Make sure that subscribe button down below, like, comment, and share. Today I'll be giving you my weekly watch list for options, like I do every week. So let's jump into it. The first one I have is ticker sign AAPL for Apple. Uh, I'll be giving this analysis from the Webull platform and the Robinhood platform. If you'd like to join either one of those platforms, I have links down below where you can get free stocks. So just look for them in the description. With further ado, let's jump into them. Uh, Apple ended the week at 385.31, and its moving average 10 is 385.46. Moving average 50 is 385.83, and moving average 100 is 385.72. So looks like it the end of the day began a little bearish pattern. It was a pretty large sell off towards the end of the day. But bear in mind I am using the 1 minute chart. So just bear that in mind. It looks like the way I determine a bullish and a bearish pattern is once the moving average 10 actually dips down below the moving average 50 and the moving average 100. To me, that begins a bearish pattern. Now, some people may say it started bearish right here when it began to descend, but I only did note the bearish pattern once that moving average 10 line actually crosses the moving average 50 and moving average 100. So just bear that in mind. That's just the way I read charts. But on the channel, I like to give some background information on the stock. So let's jump into that. Now, Apple has a lot of things going on with the company as a whole. I'm just going to read over some of the press releases. It says the new Apple Zenlidium opens today. So this is the store in China. And then it says Apple and HBCUs bring coding opportunities to communities across the U.S. Apple news launches new audio features, expands local news offerings and readers, um, and then some other stuff that's going on with Apple. A highlight from WWDC 20, um, which had a lot of stuff that was going on. They talked about the new MacBook. They talked about how they were moving away from Intel chips and using their own chips, and also about OS 14. So, a lot of stuff going on um, with the company as a whole, and a lot of movement. And the company's at, record highs, in my opinion, even though we see that it went down towards the end of the day. I still think they have a lot of stuff going on. Now, going into one of the articles that I read about Apple says Apple's new iPhone 12 is expected to bring major changes like new design, 5G, and 3D cameras. Now, if you know anything, 5G is definitely a buzzword. A lot of people are looking forward to 5G. Reading some of the bullet points from this article, Apple likely to add 5G support to its 2020 flagship iPhones, according to early reports and rumors. Um, Other than 5G connectivity, the phones are said to have more advanced 3D cameras and new size options. The addition of 5G could boost demands for Apple's new iPhone as customers upgrade their smartphones less often. Now, 5G people are going to be switching over from their 4G phones to 5G phones, which, kind of is one of my bases for, having them on here. Now, jumping into Robinhood, I think a call would probably be the best option, especially considering the fact that they'll probably release these phones before 2021. So, around September, October, November timeframe. But I think before November, in my personal opinion, because people can take those Black Friday deals and upgrade their phones. So I think it'd be a pretty good bargain, to release it around September, which is coming up, and then people could have time to plan to buy the phone or upgrade their phone before the holidays. So with that being said, I think a strike price between $400 to $420 is a good option. So 400 to 420. You're looking to pay between $2,103 to $2,870. Now, if you're new to options, you've never seen options before. The left-hand side is the strike price. Right-hand side is the price you pay. And the expiration date is basically the date that you need to execute this call before it expires. So it's basically a small synopsis of options. I only buy calls and buy puts. I don't sell calls or sell puts. So this video is just going to be from the standpoint of buying calls and buying puts, and not selling calls and selling puts. So just bear that in mind. Jumping into the Webull platform, looking at the options on that end, we're going to look into the options tab. We have an expiration date of January 15th, 2021. So we said between $400 to $420. Now the way Webull is set up, all the prices, the strike prices are down the middle. On the side that says bid, that's going to be the buy side. If you hover over it, you can actually see it'll say buy. The ask is going to be the sell. So just like on Robinhood, this is going to be buy, sell, sell, buy in this case. So for calls, we said between 400. So we're scroll down to find 400. So at 400, it looks like the price you'll pay will be uh, $2,825 per option. So one option or one contract is agreement to buy 100 shares. So just bear that in mind when buying options. So look at the price, 2,825 per contract on that one, and then we go down to 420 strike price. We can see it's $2,060. So it looks like about three of those are selling, or were selling on Monday, and are on Friday when the market closed, and about five of these were selling on Friday when the market closed. Now, bear in mind, this is all based on the strike price right here. Based on this share price right here. So all the options up here, if you were buying calls, will be considered, in the money options, and these are all out of the money options, and then vice versa if you're looking for puts. So just bear that in mind. Um, Webull is set up a little bit differently than Robinhood is. Now, jumping to our next one, we have ticker sign QCOM for Qualcomm. Now, I have this company on here because they are one of the leaders for 5G, and as they have some. They're gonna, speculatively have some of their 5G, antennas imparted into the new iPhone 5G. So, um, it's not a concrete fact yet, but I do believe that they'll use Qualcomm technologies to actually make these iPhones. So moving average 10 for Qualcomm is 10. No, it's $92.18. Moving average 50 is $92.24. Moving average 100 is $92.25. And they end the week at 92.23. So they're above their moving average 10 and right under the moving average 50 and under the moving average 100. So looks like they kind of had a little bullish uptrend going up, but overall we'll still say they are still bearish just for the fact that the moving average 10 line has crossed below the moving average 50 and 100. And even though the stock price changed, I still wait for the moving average 10 line to cross the actual threshold of the moving average 50 and moving average 100 to begin that bearish confirmation for me personally. Now, it's just the way that I look at charts. You may look at them in a different way. Different strokes for different people. Um, Going into some background information on them, they just recently announced their quarterly cash dividend. Now, Qualcomm actually gives dividends, so it's pretty good. Um, that they do that. So you can actually get paid for owning the stock. So they announced their quarterly cash dividend of 65 cents per share, which they say is going to be payable on September 24th. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Also, here's a statement about Qualcomm. They said themselves, Qualcomm is the world's leading wireless technology innovator and driving force behind the development, launch, and expansion of 5G. When we connected the phone to the internet, the mobile revolution was born. Today, our fundamental technologies enable mobile ecosystem and are founded in every 3G, 4G, and 5G smartphone. So They basically said themselves that they're leading trend of 5G technology. So I definitely think Apple will be calling on them to for the development of this new 5G technology for the iPhone. And with that being said, I think once Apple goes up, after they make that announcement, Qualcomm itself will go up as well, and that's why I think a call is the best option for Qualcomm with the strike price of $95 to $110. So you're looking to pay between $309 per contract to $780 per contract. This is on the Robinhood platform, by the way. So let's jump into the Webull platform and see what the price is on there. So going to options on Webull, we're going to type in Q. Here it is, Qualcomm. And we have a date, which is the same as the last date, 15th January 2021. 95. So let's scroll down. We got 95 right here. So for 95, you're looking to pay $765 per option to the 110, which is $297 per option. So it looks like there are a lot of being sold on this one on the platform, about 30 of those, and then just one of these are being sold. As far as the strike price at 95. So just bear that in mind. The platforms are not one to one. So going into my next one, we got ticker sign INTC for Intel. Now at WWC 2020, Apple actually announced that they were switching away from Intel chips and doing chips of their own. Now, some people may have looked at that as negative, but overall the stock performed that it was a positive move in the right direction for Intel. And their stock definitely reflected that. It continued to go up and it hit green this week. So its moving average 10 is 60.08, moving average 50 is 60.11, and moving average 100 is 60.10, and it ended the week at $60 even. So on a little bearish pattern to end the end of the week, quite a bit of sell off towards the end of the week. Also bear in mind it's the 1 minute chart, so maybe a little more dramatic than the 1 week. The 1 week chart or the 1 day chart, the 4 hour chart, 2 hour chart, so forth and so on. But you know, if we look at this line, the moving average 10 line has crossed the moving average 50 and the moving average 100. So it has began a bullish trend towards the end of the day. Hopefully that can turn around and be bearish. And I think it will in the long term because Intel has a lot of things going on with the company. So going to the news releases from Intel, they also declared quarterly cash dividends. So if you own Intel stock, you can get dividends as well. Mobileye and Willard partner on self-driving mobility solutions for Japan, Southeast Asia. They got a new board of directors member, which is always a big move for a company in general. And they're focusing on self-driving technology. I'm not gonna go through and read all of these, but there are definitely a lot of moves being made by Intel. I think they're moving in the right direction. They're still giving their dividends, which is really good for shareholders. A lot of companies aren't really, giving their dividend. I know Disney cut their dividend, and a lot of other stocks that people have held for a long time cut their dividend because of the whole pandemic situation. But if we see Intel and Qualcomm basically still have their dividends. So, in my opinion, that shows that they still have a strong portfolio and balance sheet for the company as a whole. So, with that being said, I think a call is the best option. On the Robinhood platform, I think with the strike price between $65 to $70 is a realistic price that it could reach by January 15th, 2021. Now, if you buy these calls, you're going to be looking to pay between $184 per contract and $323 per contract. Now, these are a little bit on the cheaper end, in my opinion, and not as expensive as some of the other ones. So, I think these are realistic values that we could see, them go up because it's basically saying, we believe that Intel can go up $5 in the span of 3 months, basically. So, you know, I think that's a realistic value, or even saying it can go up $10 in the span of 3 months. So, I think it's realistic value for Intel, especially considering all the things they have going on with the company. Going into the Weibo platform, we're gonna look at Intel, and then let's go find the date, the 15th. We set a strike price between $65 and $70. So if we look at 65 for a buy, buying a call, you're looking at $315. For $70, look at $178. So 30 of those being sold and 129 of these being sold. So quite a bit being sold on both of these calls for Intel. So it may be easier for you, or pretty easy for you to get in and buy some calls for yourself on these Intel options. So going into our last one for the week, we have ticker sign INO for Inovio Pharmaceuticals. Now, they have a lot of things going on with the company, but I think, they're grossly overlooked, especially with all the action Moderna has had this week, and, people jumping on the Moderna bandwagon. I think, Inovio definitely has some things that they are working on that I believe could make them, one of the leaders in, finding a vaccine for the whole running situation. Their moving average 10 is 26.99. Moving average 50 is 26.96. And the moving average 100 is 27.10. And they ended the week at 26.97. So, not that low, but, it definitely passed the moving average 50, but it hasn't yet gone to test that moving average 100 line. So I would say, it's in between a bearish and bullish, kind of mid range in my opinion. I wouldn't say it's bearish and I wouldn't say it's bullish just because it's right in between that moving average 50 and moving average 100 line. Now, going to background information on Inovio. I'm just going to read some of the highlights and reasons why I think that the company is definitely overlooked. Says Inovio announces positive interim phase 1 data for their vaccine. They expanded their senior management team, which again to me is a big deal as far as you know, changing leadership in companies is always a big deal in my opinion. Can help the company tremendously. It says Inovio really received $71 million contract from the U.S. Department of Defense to scale up manufacture of Selectra 3P SP smart device and procurement of Selectra 2000 for the DNA vaccine for the Roni situation. Says Inovio and IVI partner with Seoul National University Hospital to start phase 1 out of 2 clinical trial of Inovio's INO 4800 in South Korea. Says Inovio's vaccine Inovio 4800 uh, demonstrates robust neutralizing antibody and T cell immune response in preclinical models. That it says Inovio's INO 5401 in combination with PD1 inhibitor Labide demonstrates 85% of newly diagnosed uh, I can pronounce that, patients are alive 12 months following treatment. So there's a lot of things going on with the company. Getting large amounts of money from large organizations to me definitely is very positive for the company. And I think that they are very overlooked as far as all the work that they're doing is concerned. I think they definitely have potential to continue to go up. And with that being said, I think a call is probably the best option. With the strike price between $34 to $40, I think it's realistic. So if we go to 40, we can see that you'll pay about $798 for a call. With the expiration of February 19th, 2021, I think that's a long enough time for this call to actually be able to be executed, or for this call to be sold off for a profit, because it's not that high of a price to go up, especially considering that's kind of the time frame where all of these trials and stuff are going to end. And Going down to $34, you're gonna be looking to pay $918. So, higher than the Intel calls, but still realistic as far as value is concerned. Now going to uh, the Weibo platform, we're gonna look at INO. We'll look at the strike price of $34 to $40. So at $34, it doesn't seem like there are any available. Well, hold on. Sorry about that. Change the date. All right, so $34. It looks like you're gonna pay $835. It seems like there are 419 of those available. And then if you go to $40, looks like you're gonna pay $735, and there are 425 of those available. So, you know, there's quite a bit available as far as calls are concerned for Inovio, but I think the company has great potential. Definitely a lot of backing from a lot of different organizations, and organizations don't give companies money for no reason. So I think pretty good as far as that's concerned, and I think they definitely have good growth potential. Um, the whole vaccine niche is definitely exploded. Um, you know, as the whole pandemic has gone out, everyone's racing to find a cure. But the more backing you have, in my opinion, meaning the more money behind you, the easier to me it'll be for you to help to actually find that vaccine. And we're hoping that the whole world is basically waiting to see what company that's going to be or when that's going to happen. But I know they're working around the clock to get that out. So with that being said, drop a comment down below. Tell me which stocks you guys are looking at for the week. I know we got Tesla earnings coming up next week, as well as Microsoft earnings coming up next week. So it's going to be an exciting week. I plan to make videos covering those and giving my synopsis on how I think those played out. I know everybody's waiting for Tesla earnings to come out. A lot of people are invested in that. I have a video on Tesla, so just check my channel out to go and watch that. So hopefully everybody's able to lock in some profits this week and next week. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.